My name is Morales Mendez. I'm a CMP at A4TD, and I'm making this video not just to tell you what the program is about, but to tell you my experience that I had at A4TD in the CSEP program. Actually, I am going to tell you what I have experienced, and at the end of the video, I will encourage whoever want to apply. I will send a link or show a video at the end so you could know what to do. Okay, I first started out in CSEP program in 2015, 2016 in Niagara Falls, New York. I was unemployed and looking for work at the Work Source Center in Niagara Falls. I used to go in there almost every day looking for work, searching through all the jobs that was opening. And the manager for the center actually saw me coming and he told me about the CSEP program. I never heard of that before. I was just looking for work. I was unemployed for a good 6 months when I moved from Rochester to Niagara County, Monroe County to Niagara County. So he introduced me to the CSEP program, and he thought I would be a good fit to help people because he saw that I have some skills, some computer skills, and navigate my way. I was helping people even though I wasn't working there. I was even helping the person who was in the office, and at that point, he signed me up. I provided all the documentation. And after 2 years in the center helping people, looking for work, uploading resume, and basically, some people didn't have the experience about computers. And it was also in the unemployment office, the Worksource Center. So people coming in to update, they got to be looking for work. After 2 years, I went back into machining, CNC machinist, in 2018. In 2018, I was basically doing everything was going well until about 2022 when things started to change. I came across, I went into some difficulties that I had to move back to Rochester. Came back to Rochester actually well, I was not I was a homeless veteran. Actually, ended up in a Eagle Star housing for veterans and didn't have a job and getting separated, going through like a divorce, and I was homeless, and I lose all my tools and everything. I end up retire, start collecting Social Security, and didn't know what I was going to do with my life because I actually people at the VA told me about that they have a CSEP program in Rochester, call it A4TD. At that time, it was CSEP. So A4TD was like something new to me. So I called a lot of times, but eventually I got through to someone. Someone called me and make an appointment for me and tell me where to go in Rochester 1. And I end up with my current supervisor, tremendous person who helped me make everything seem so easy and process me just like that. And follow all the steps. I have all my papers together and telling me that I was be a good fit to be a CMPA because I have a lot of the skills that required to helping people. And I am one of the person who love to help people. So once I get into the program, I went through the orientation. I had one of the best orientation that I ever had in my life for a whole week. I never missed a day. I went in, was all excited, getting into the program and getting back into the workforce. But it was a training. It wasn't actually a job. I thought I was getting a job, but it was actually just a training. And at that point, I went through the training. At the end of the video, I'm going to play a little bit of that to help people who want to become applicants. So my first experience then was in Niagara County. At that time, I was unemployed, a CNC machinist, searching for work every day. Through that opportunity, I provided customer service by helping people in the Rochester Workforce Center, not the Rochester, the Niagara County Workforce Center. In Rochester, they call it Rochester Works, but in Niagara County, they call it the Workforce Center. So in 2022, my life took a very difficult turn. I returned to Rochester, New York, homeless, unemployed, veteran, living in a homeless shelter. And at that point, I had a choice to return to manufacturing full time, but I wasn't up to it. I was really down, going through some mental health process and basically getting my life back together. So I had the choice now to go back to rejoin A4TD part-time training program. I choose A4TD, and I was given the opportunity to become case manager, call it CMPA. Basically, I stick with the program, and I started to helping people, and I started to feel good that I was helping other people, almost doing the same thing what I was doing in Niagara County, helping people looking for work. But at this time, I was, I learned all the stuff I need to learn, and going out doing IEPs and recertifications. I know how to do the intake, but my supervisor, the genius, she divided us so one do intake and the other one do recertification IEPs, and I was trying to find OS agencies and trying to recruit people. I went out a couple of times to with all the other employees, um, like a job show, a job fair. And at that point, I was all down until the program was kind of take a break, was basically on a furlough for a while. And I came back just in time. I didn't know what I was going to be doing again. I was left for a good 5 months. Don't know. I think everything was over. And I didn't think I was going to go back into factory work. I want to maybe be customer service, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. But this program, CSEP program, kind of grounded me, make me feel like I am somebody. I have a training position. I wish it was a real job in my real life, but it coming to the end of my time in the program. And actually, it's going to be like 4 years, but it was split in two parts. I was in CSEP first for 2 years. Then I go back to machinist, exit the program into a full-time job. And I was there from 2018 to 2022. 4 years I was working until I returned to Rochester in 2022. So now the purpose of my video is not to explain the training itself or the mission of A4TD, the CSEP program for mature workers, but to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation. This program helped me overcome major barriers in my life, including incarceration, housing instability, financial hardship. It also provided supportive services and allowed me to be to benefit from my income was exempt. The A4TD income is exempt. That was one of the things that I kind of like about the program. It have some exemption, whereas it doesn't affect your SNAP benefits, and it doesn't affect you like if you're in Section 8 or public housing. It doesn't affect that, and it have some supportive services that blow a tire or my batteries and everything, just so I could go to work every day or go to training every day. It's like a job, but it's not actually a job. It's actually a training. So I'm getting back into going and helping people. So this program, it also provide supportive services and allow me to benefit from my income of exemptions. While I was going through my difficulties, as my training terms comes to an end, I prepare to exit the program. And I just want to thank A4TD and the CSEP, the seniors community, for giving me the life renewed purpose. The program gave me the opportunity to help others participate with their yearly recertification and with semi-yearly IEP assessments. I would like to really help them more to get a job, basically with JSOL and all the other stuff. But I think I was overwhelmed, so it would be a good idea to have someone else to take over in that section to get more OS agencies, number one, to help the participants when they come into the end of their program or when they're job ready, someone to take in that from that step, making sure they go to do the JSAW. But that was, you know, my I didn't have no problem with that. I go through the JSAW and everything, and my supervisor preparing my exit form, and I just want to thank her so much for the past couple of years with my co-worker Shirley, and they've been very helpful to me. And at this point, at the end of the program, it's a little bit sad and emotional and happiness at the same time that I completed the program. And basically, it's the next step is in the works. I am now looking forward to participating in day trading in the micro futures stock market. I have a little time to read up and study up on that while I was in training. And I also would like to do more working part time as a self employed driver. Because in the CSEP program, I had to go to all these different places driving to see the supervisors and meeting participants and to do the IEPs and recertification. And I know to do my travel expenses to get reimbursement for my gas. It was a special position in A4TD. And and the reason why it's so successful, I'm not only going into a job, I am becoming self-employed. I am that much confidence in myself now that I can do this. And I'm truly grateful to A4TD and CSEP. This program doesn't just train mature workers, it also transforms lives. It transformed my life. So anyone who would like to apply to the program and have a computer or a cell phone, this is how you would do it. And I'm gonna switch over to my to a video at the end of my presentation here, and hopefully it will be helpful to you. Okay, so please, if you have a chance, just listen.
To apply, you could do it one of a few ways. If you have access to technology, you can apply directly online by going to our website, a4td.org, and going over to the top right corner where it says Apply Now. Click on the drop down and then choose the Senior Community Service Employment Program. This will take you to the first page, which is kind of a screener question. So it asks the two basic questions about whether or not you are unemployed and if you are above 55. Once you click that, you'll be able to complete the full application. And it's a pretty standard application. It asks a lot of basic information, such as your contact information, and then goes into program eligibility pieces. So it is asking about your income and your unemployment status and your residency. It also will ask you about what your training interests are and what kind of work you're looking for, what kind of background you have. So there's a bunch of different questions. You're going to complete all of the ones that have the red asterisks. You must complete those to submit it. Once you've answered all the questions, you would hit submit. If it is successfully submitted, then instead of looking at Don here, you instead will be taken to another page with a smiling woman and a list of documentation that you want to start collecting so that we can move on to the next process. If you don't have access to technology, you can.
I'm quite sure everybody just about have access to technology, or you can go to the Work Source Center or the Rochester Works or any one of those places, and you easily link up to a4td.org. It's a good program. It changes my life, and I thank A4TD. God bless you.